Everybody knows that old games are bad and new games are good. Banjo-Kazooie is old, and the only people who like it are crusty boomers who read shitty books. I don't need no fucking books. I play real video games.
What am I delivering?
When it's inside, trigger the explosive.
Explosive? What the fuck?
Well, I never thought I'd see it with my own eyes, but here it is. Banjo Threeie in all its glory. Okay, it's not official. It's technically real in that it exists, but it's a ROM hack, of course. It takes place after the events of Banjo Threeie. Spiral Mountain is still in disrepair and Grunty is back. She's a ghost and she's trying to retake human form using this new contraption she made. She created this giant museum which is the new hub world. Since it's running on Banjo-Kazooie, there are no moves from Banjo Threeie, but on the bright side, all the Kazooie moves are unlocked from the start. The game consists of 9 worlds, just like the original. If I were to describe the game's pacing in one word, I would say immediate. The levels are very small, but they have everything you would expect. They have 10 jiggies, 100 notes, Jinjos, you get the idea. You can blow through the game pretty quickly, but it's rewarding all the way through because we have dumb reptile brains, and it's fun when number goes up. For the most part, the game is an homage to the original Banjo duology with its levels and music, but it also pays tribute to plenty of other games as well. I think one of my favorite levels has to be this level, which is a mix of previous Banjo-Kazooie and Threeie levels and artifacts. It's even got this little arcade run by Klungo, who I guess was unemployed after Banjo Threeie. He's got a little Donkey Kong arcade machine where you jump in and actually scale the structure as barrels fly down and you grab a jiggy at the end. Then you look in Klungo's trash bin and it's full of ads for nuts and bolts. Now that's what we call garbage. Some other of my favorite levels include this space level where you fly from planet to planet collecting all the things. There's this dinosaur themed level with this secret slide thing with the music from Mario 64. There's this bonus level that made me extremely angry. Then there's the beach level which has a fucking black hole or some shit in the middle of it which makes you fall through the water and into the abyss of death. There are the common cliches of level themes, but it's nice to see some other unconventional ones. The game has a handful of new enemy models, some of which appear as bosses, which many of the levels have. In terms of atmosphere, the game does look a small bit rough around the edges in certain respects, particularly with some textures and animations, but it's not game-breaking in any way, and the overall aesthetic is very Banjo in the end. But speaking of game-breaking, there's a handful of recurring bugs that I noticed that pissed me off. For some reason, these treasure chests have this really weird hitbox that bounce you back if you're within 2 feet of them, making it extremely difficult to get whatever's inside there. There are also graphical issues, but that's more likely the emulator's fault than the game itself. Although Clanker once spawned outside of the glass, which was pretty funny. Overall, this might not quite live up to the name Banjo Threeie, but it's another in an increasingly long list of great Banjo hacks. At this point, it's clear that there is almost as much interest in Banjo hacks as there is in Mario 64 hacks, and with Jiggies of Time approaching later this year, if I'm not mistaken, the Banjo hacking scene is just gonna get better and better. Oh yeah, but definitely play this one.